Kimberly here. I have been asked to kind of share my inspiration for meal planning and that kind of stuff. We've talked about a lot on meal prep, but what do you do prior to getting your groceries? Um, as some of you know, we're a family of six and we have dietary restrictions. We have food allergies in our home. So we are gluten-free and dairy-free, as well as low histamine and a couple of different things. We all eat pretty much the same thing. Occasionally I'll buy regular bread or, something like that for my other kids. And then buy like gluten-free stuff for my oldest. But I just kind of wanted to give you an idea on how I start my meal planning. I usually do this the day before I'm going to go grocery shopping. I've been doing it grocery shopping on Thursdays whenever I get to go to Trader Joe's. Occasionally I'll go on Fridays when we get our paycheck. It just depends. I would do it a couple of days in advance if you have an off day or, lazy afternoon. Go ahead and get it done. That way you're ready to go whenever you start your grocery shopping. This is the best way to cut back on price and also to make sure that you're not eating out, that you're going to stick with your diet plan. I know that I always struggle whenever I don't have my meals planned out. Our afternoons are really crazy for our family, so I have to know what I'm going to be cooking for that day. Okay, so beginning, I kind of want to go over where I get my recipes from and inspiration. Of course, everybody knows Pinterest. Pinterest is going to be an amazing venue for you when it comes to recipes. I have my own board here for the 21-day fix. I have some different ones that you can find me. I'm under Kimberly Ross. And you can kind of check out, a lot of these were my favorite, and I actually will share with new coaches or new challengers. That way they have some ideas. One of them is going to be this one right here. And this is going to be your breakdown. You will find similar things in your 21-day fix eating plan that comes with your challenge pack. But if you're just doing the 21-day fix eating plan without purchasing the challenge pack or anything like that, or if you're just wanting to, kind of do it on your own without the containers or whatever, here is a guideline. I actually have one that will show how much each of your color-coded containers actually contain. So you can use cups and measuring cups and that kind of stuff to still get the portion control. But I highly recommend purchasing the set of these along with the Fixate cookbook. So I have that one, and of course you can see I have a bunch of different recipes. This one right here, the Fruity Baked Oatmeal, is one of our favorite. As well as this one. This one was very helpful for me. A lot of people always ask, what do you do for snacks? This one is great because it has a bunch of different snack ideas right here on the side, and it tells you what your containers are going to consist of when you eat that snack. So if you're really wanting to come back on your yellow, you can pick and choose other ones that don't contain yellow. So go ahead and, check this out. I can share this spreadsheet on our page if you would like, or you can just find me on Pinterest and, save it that way. This I actually printed out and kept it with my binder or on the refrigerator. That way I had ideas all the time, especially when it came to doing my meal planning. I could just pop this out and I could go ahead and know which fruits or I needed to purchase and that sort of thing. So that one was really great. Again, here's the one. This one was great because it tells you the size of them. So, for example, if you're wanting to get started on your eating plan, but you don't have your challenge pack yet or you don't have the containers yet, this right here is going to be great because it's going to tell you exactly what size is the containers. So you can see the green and the purple are both 1 cup. You can still use measuring cups for that, this is a really great option. And it tells you the different fixed approved meals. Okay, so again, going down, there's lots and lots of different things. I have one that was already made up. So if you're looking for some inspiration on a meal plan, this is really great. It's going to tell you the meals and it tells you what portion control containers are using for that meal. Look up, for different inspirations like that. Another great website, of course, is going to be Team Beachbody, and you can find that under Eat Smart, and then it's going to take you to recipes, and then here you'll find everything broken down, and of course, all of these are going to be approved. So once you have recipes saved and you have an idea, if you've printed it out or whatever it may be, what do you do with that? And how do you actually utilize those recipes and plan out your meals? I have a couple of different templates that I have used. I can show you. One of my favorite is going to be this one from Momables. Very simple, basic, but it works out well for my family. We have breakfast, lunch, snacks, and dinner. And then you have a whole section over here for prep ahead. So for example, set out chicken for next day, or something that you need to do to prep in advance so that you stay on track. This has been a great utensil for me. I print out a bunch of them and I use this whenever I'm doing my weekly meal planning. I like pen and paper type thing whenever I'm doing meal planning. Some people are more for the apps. You do what works best for you. So here you can also go ahead and you can write at the bottom like what colors. You can just do different markers. Put a red, a green, and a yellow down at the bottom. That way hey, these are the containers that I'm going to be using that day. So this is one container that I used, or one template. Here is another template that I have used, and this is for the entire month. Now, this is really great if you're just a planner. If you want to go ahead and you have a weekend off and it's raining outside and you want to go ahead and get it done, you can find stuff like this. I think I Googled for this one. Again, I can share all of these with you. I have them saved on my computer, so please, send me a message or leave a comment on them, and if you would like to have these emailed to you. I can also try to upload to the group. So this is going to be a weekly or, a monthly type template. The spaces are a little bit smaller, so you won't have as much room, but you could be very basic with that. And so you can write, just very basic titles for each of the meals. And then whenever you do your weekly, that's where you can get a little bit more in depth. For example, if you want to do the main course for each meal, and then just save the sides for when you're doing your weekly planning. So I had that one. And then another one that I've done, and I've actually shared this with some of my challengers. This is a daily meal planner. Again, if you are really wanting to dial in and see where you're making mistakes, this is really great. Once you have, for example, if you're going to use all three, go ahead, get your entire month planned out, okay? And whenever that week comes up, you use the other one for the weekly spread. And if you want to, really tune in and get some very detailed information, this right here hole punch it, put it in a binder, or do something. That way you can see it. It's already planned out, and it's already going to be very detailed, and it's also going to give you information on your calorie target. It's going to give you information on how many containers you need to be eating every single day. And if you skip something, scratch it out or highlight it. This way you know, hey, I'm not losing weight this round. What can I do different for the next round? And this way you're going to be able to see, okay, well, I need to eat maybe more calories. And you can always tell if you're skipping meals like I do, I tend to skip meals. That has affected my weight loss. So, just keep that in mind. And of course, you have your water intake here. So I have those. And again, here's your monthly planner. Do it, before you start your challenge. That way you're already done. And again, look on Team Beachbody for recipes, Pinterest for recipes. Pinterest was an amazing outlet for me. I also have the Fixate cookbook. That is by Autumn Calabrese, and it is also broken down by the color-coded containers. That way you know what you're eating. And they have some amazing meals in there. Even though we are gluten and dairy free, there are a lot of recipes in there we are still able to use. So don't think that your family won't be able to eat this way, because you're just eating clean. And that was one thing that was very inspiring to me when I started Beachbody, was being able to mesh together our diet restrictions with Beachbody. And this is going to be something that you're going to influence on your children to raise them, or your family, your husband, whoever you have around you. You want to inspire them to eat better, because anybody can benefit from eating better. So I hope that was very helpful. And I wanted to go ahead and also, I forgot to go ahead and do how I make up my grocery list. So whenever you actually have all of your meals planned, and then that way you can kind of pick and choose, hey, I already have this in the cabinet, or I already have this, in the freezer, or whatever it may be. Go ahead and, don't write that down. But then that way, when you have your meals planned, then you'll be able to go ahead and make your grocery list. I'm supposed to be getting a stand with for my phone, so I'm going to be doing my meal planning tonight, and I will be sharing hopefully how I do all of that for y'all as well. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. That's why we are all here. If you have any suggestions, or places that you have found some really great recipes, or templates, whatever it may be, we're all here to share. We're all learning. Even me, I'm constantly learning how I can do better with all of this. So please don't hesitate to ask, and I look forward to hearing your questions. Have a great day. Bye.